If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
Today we will discuss the financial accounting global settings. So first I will open SAP and will show you what we are discussing, where they are located in SAP. So you guys know how to log in to SAP. What is the T code to go to IMG path?
SPRO.
Okay. Good. Click on this IMG. Right. Next, we saw this part. Okay, so now we'll go to the financial accounting part. Okay, in financial accounting part, click on financial accounting new. So you may get a question. So why we have new and without new? So does it mean do we have some old financial accounting earlier? Yes. This new means it's a new GL concept, new general ledger. So earlier up to SAP 4.7 EE, so this new GL concept was not there. So from 2005, my SAP ERP version, so SAP has started this new GL concept. Okay. So I will tell you later. So what is new GL and what is old GL? So old GL actually referred as classic GL. We'll do one thing. So I will create one sheet in topics, because if I start explaining these concepts now, so you would not be able to understand. Here versus GL. So go to financial accounting new, click on financial accounting global settings. And we will not be covering all of them today, but only few of them under financial accounting global settings. And click on ledgers. And first one is okay. So before going to this one, so you need to check whether new GL is active or not. Okay, so we'll first go to financial accounting. Under that, go to financial accounting global settings and click on activate new general ledger accounting. You can see this checkbox is already activated. So new general ledger accounting is active. So with this one, we must use new GL only. So it's a one-time activity. The clients who are not using new GL, so they have to select this checkbox. Once this checkbox is selected, so system will create new tables and activates this new GL functionalities. Okay, so now I cannot deactivate this one. If I deactivate, there will be a lot of inconsistencies, and also there are several other people might be using this system. So it would be a problem for them. So once this checkbox is activated, it is impossible to revert it. Right? So let it be. Okay. I'll keep this same thing. So now I have ensured that this checkbox is active. That means we must use only new GL. So T code is FAGL underscore active. So next we'll go to the financial accounting new and financial accounting global settings new, and then ledgers. And under ledgers, click on ledger. And first define ledgers for general ledger accounting. Click on this one. So first now we already have few ledgers defined, so we don't need to define any ledgers. So I will clearly explain what are these ledgers when we come to the new GL topic. Okay. For now, so this you don't need to do anything. So 0L is the leading ledger which is already active by default. Okay. There must be only one leading ledger in the system. So this checkbox should be active only for one ledger, that is also 0L only. Zero L is the leading ledger by default. Other ledgers as non-leading ledgers. Each client must have only one leading ledger, that is 0L. Okay, so no changes should be made for this one. All right. Okay, so next we'll discuss the currencies, define currencies of leading ledger. Okay. So now I see my company codes here. Okay. So what is the company code that we have created yesterday? So I have created B001 and B002, but I don't see them here. Okay. So I need to create the new entries and add them currencies. So this is also called parallel currencies. Okay. Let me try to add the transaction here. Okay. So click on new entries. So now I need to give my company code B001 and enter. I don't need to give any details. So these fields are grayed out. So any field that is showing as grayed out, those are called only display fields. So I cannot make any changes, or I cannot enter any entries. So the fields which are open, right? So those fields only I can update. Okay. So any company that you take, first local currency would be the company code currency. Okay. So I got these details. First, concentrate on the currency. So what is this currency? INR. So how I am getting this currency? I am getting this currency from company code. Okay. Go to enterprise structure, definition, financial accounting, edit company code data. B001. What is my currency here? INR. So when I try to add my company code B001, so system is automatically getting the currency which is assigned to the company code. Okay, so now I will take B002. So what is the currency now? It is EUR. Okay, so because I have assigned EUR to the B002 company code. Okay. Right. So then what are these currency types? So, and why we need to do so here in this currencies, it helps us to add multiple currencies to our company code. And what is the purpose of doing this one? So why we need multiple currencies for a company code? Okay. First, if you enter any transaction, okay, that you must give the currency. So after company code, first it will ask for the company code. So after that, we have the document date and posting date, which we will discuss later. So now the currency, we must enter the currency in the document, because how system would know the entry that I am posting in system belongs to which currency. Okay. For example, I am I went for a shopping and I liked a product. Okay, I bought it. Okay, which costs 1,000. Okay, just 1,000. So imagine that it's 1,000. So if it is in India, I'm giving 1,000. Okay, what does it mean? It is a rupees, Indian rupees, right? If the same 1,000 rupees, okay, so if I give in another country, is it valid? No, right. If the transaction is happening in another country, so we have to give the local currency, right, in that country. Okay, so that could be USD, GBP, or anything. Okay. So in SAP, the currencies represent with 3-digit code. Okay. So for each country, it will have a separate currency, and that currency is represented in 3-digit codes. Okay. So depending on the transaction, and we must need to define the currencies. First currency would be, so if we are operating our business uh, in particular country, we need to post all the transaction. If the transaction is emerging in the local country, okay, we need to use the local currency. Okay. And the second scenario, okay, so I have these two company codes. Okay, both have different currencies, but my group current country. So my group country, group company code is located in another country. Okay. So I need to provide the consolidation statements. Okay. I need to do the reporting in the currency of group company code. Okay. So how can I do that? So now both have different currencies, but how can I do the reporting? When I am doing the reporting at the group level, it should show both the transactions. It should show both the transactions in other country. For example, transaction it's happening in company code section 1 happening in B001 and currency is happening in INR. Okay. The second transaction happening in B002 and it is in euro currency happen. So now when it comes to group currency, okay, amount is 1,000 and it is also 1,000. Okay. So my group currency is USD, for example. Okay. Now I want to report this amount in group currency. So is it correct amount? 2,000 USD is correct amount?
No.
No, right? So if I need to report both the transaction, first I need to report 2,000, the sum of first transaction and second transaction. Okay. So this 2,000 I need to show in the group reports with the currency of group company. Okay. So how can system can do this one? Okay. In the system, we have the exchange rates, right? How can we get the exchange rates? We get the exchange rates from the bank. Okay. Exchange rate. So what exchange rate first we need here? We need from INR to USD. And here it would be Euro to USD, right? Okay, so now the current exchange rate would be, I think, for one, now it would be 0.45, I guess. Okay, 0.75. I don't know. I'm just giving some this one. Okay, so it is 1 USD is equal to 75. Then in that case, 1 divided by 75. Okay, it's even lower, 0.013. So this is my USD amount. Similarly, for euro, we can check quickly. USD is 1.05. 1.05. Okay. So this is my total amount in USD. Okay. So this amount should be reported in the group reports. Okay. So now how system will know what is my group currency. Okay. And what is my company code currency. Company code currency we have already seen, it is coming from the company code currency, right? The second thing, I need to add group currency here. Okay. Financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings, ledger, and define currencies of leading ledger. This issue is happening every time when the system automatically closes. Explain this one later. We are just deleting the lock entries. Okay. Right. Okay. So define currencies of the leading ledger. Okay. Click on new entries. Company code B002. No, B001. Okay. Yeah. And the second local currency, I have these currencies. I have group currency, and these are called currency types. You can see the currency types. We have company code currency, group currency, hard currency, index-based currency, and global company currency. Okay. So now the second currency I want it to be group currency. Okay. Okay, so then how will I get group currency here? So I have shown the company code currency is coming from the company code settings, right? But let me try to enter. So here the currency will determine automatically. Okay. Yeah. So now I got euros. So somewhere it is there. Somewhere in the system, this group currency is configured. Okay. So this currency comes from the client systems. I'm not authorized to this one. Okay. Let me show you in the tables. So we have discussed the client concept, right? Which client we are using here? We are using client 800. So similarly, there could be other clients as well in this server. Okay. The server I am using is this VHCALA BSEA. In this server, I can have different clients also. So I am using this table to see the different clients available in my system. So because I do not have access to that particular transaction to display the clients. Okay. In this, where I'm in the 800 client, and the currency assigned to this client is euro. Okay. So this is my group currency. Okay. So that means all the company codes that are created in this client, they must use euro as their group currency. Okay. So while defining the client itself, they see they will add the currency according to the requirements only. Okay. Right. When I add this currency, okay, so whenever I post a transaction, so like this way, system will get the exchange rate and converts this amount into this group currency amount. Okay. So this is the second thing. And let me add one more currency type. So the hard currency and index-based currencies are only required for the countries where the inflation is very high. Okay. So this is called company code secondary currency, and index-based currency is for it is also used for the currencies with high inflation, but also for the local and tax reporting. Okay, so they want to report in a different currency than the company code currency. Okay, so in those cases, we will need this index-based currency. So I will try to add hard currency. So now whenever I choose the currency type, I'm not getting the option to enter the currency here. Somewhere it is fetching that data. Okay. So now let me see. So from where it is fetching this one. So we will get the error for this one. Okay. So define a currency key for currency type 40. Okay. I told you now. So these hard currency and index based currency will be only used or only be available for the countries with higher inflation. So in that case, the country settings must have this currency assigned. You can open SAP NetWeaver. So do not remember this one. Just I can tell you later. Okay. Define countries. For example, I have taken country AE. Here we have hard currency field AED. So when I add parallel currencies of a company code which is located in this country, so the system will automatically fetch this hard currency there. I don't need to enter manually. Okay. So in this case, I will remove this one. Okay, so now we'll see what is company code currency.
Sir, we can only add 3 currencies, so we can have.
Yeah, in ECC 6 we can add only 3 currencies. Okay.
Okay.
In S4 HANA there is an option given, so up to 10 currencies we can add in S4 HANA. But in ECC 6 only 3 currencies. Okay. Index-based currency. Okay, so these 4 are important. Company code currency is determined currency sign. Determined from settings. So first currency. This is the required is with the higher inflation. So this hard currency can be same currency sometimes, okay, but with a different exchange rates, okay. So how can I give the different exchange rates? Okay, so these are also called local currency. Company code currency is called as a local currency or first local currency. Okay. Second local currency, third local currency. So how can a system will get the exchange rate? So now I know today's exchange rate this much. I have checked in the Google, I found it, but how system will know? So in the system also we need to add the exchange rates. Okay. So how we will add exchange rates? So there would be different requirements. Okay. And the exchange rates will change every day, right? Okay, so not even every day. So every second or every hour also exchange rates would be changing. That is for the outside market. But when we are recording the transactions in the system, so it is impossible to get those running exchange rates in the system. Okay. To determine the exchange rates, we need to enter those exchange rates in the system with the exchange rate type. So M means monthly average. So this is the M stands for standard translation at average rate. Okay. By default, system selects this exchange rate type whenever we add the currency for that particular company code. Okay, so we cannot change this one. So for other currencies like the group currency and hard currency, if you want, you can give a different exchange rate type. Okay. First, I will show you the exchange rates. Go to OB52. No, sorry, not OB52. So all the general settings, they will locate here like countries, currencies that are applicable to the entire system and entire modules. Okay. So you come to IMG path, click on SAP NetWeaver, general settings, and then click on currencies. And then click on check exchange rate types. So we have exchange rate type M defined here. Okay. But I have not assigned the exchange rates at here. Okay. So I have just defined exchange rate type only. Right. Then click on enter exchange rates here. Okay. Now M, check INR to USD is there or not. Yeah. I have this exchange rate entered applicable from January 1st, 2015. So 1 INR equal to 0.01530 US dollars. Okay, so this rate is entered. So that's the reason. Okay, so system will fetch this exchange rate from the system when posting the transaction. So usually these M rates in real time, so they are entered monthly basis. Okay. That is also a task of treasury management system. So we don't need to worry about these things. So these things will be already available in the system. Okay. And then the second thing, the second setting here we have is the source currency. So translation taking current transaction currency as basis. Okay. So on what basis I need to do this exchange rate translation? So I have to, in this case, INR to USD, right? So system knows what currency needs to be translated into the USD currency. Okay. But imagine some cases where we do the transaction in foreign currencies. In this case, we are purchasing goods from a different country like Germany. Okay. When we are purchasing the goods from Germany, we must pay to that vendor in their German currency only. Okay. Then my currency, now I got three currencies. In this case, I got only one currency, INR to USD. But in the current situation I am going to explain, I have three currencies. So I need to pay in what is this? Euros. Again, okay. And then my local currency is INR, and my group currency is USD. Okay. So in this case, first I need to translate from Euro to INR, right? I need to report in my local country also, local company code currency also, right? So in that case, first I need to translate from Euros to INR. So how system will translate whether you want to translate from the foreign currency to this local currency or company code currency to local currency. So in this case, it will be always uh, transaction currency. This is called transaction currency to the local currency. So first the translation happens to this one, and it depends on your setting for the group currency. And here also it will happen euro to USD. So we have two options, either this option or we can also add INR to USD. These two options are available for group currency. For company code currency, only one option is there, transaction currency to the local currency. But for group currency, we have either of these options. So in the first situation, my transaction currency, which is euros, it will be translated to the my group currency. Okay. Or in the second situation, my first local currency. What is my first local currency here? It is INR. So from INR to USD is also possible. It depends on the settings how we want in the system. Okay. Right. So for now, these two are enough. I am adding. So now whenever I make a configuration changes, system prompts for the customizing request. I have already created one yesterday. So I will use the same request. Yeah, Karthik, Kantimati. Hello, any questions? I can't hear you, Kantimati. Is it only problem for me or anyone else can hear?
No, we can't hear.
Okay.
No.
Can you post in the chat?
I have a question. So, for example, let's say the company exchange rate is not there, and it's not been updated. Let's say we are in a project, right? And the company code or the company exchange rate, the country exchange rate is not there in the system. Who do we reach out to in the project to update the country exchange rate?
Yeah, ideally it will be there. Okay, so because they have automated system, the treasury department will get the information from the banks, okay, from the central banks with this exchange rates. In case if we do not have this exchange rates, then the correct team is the treasury system, treasury people. So either you can just raise a ticket to them, or you need to check with your client manager.
Okay.
They can provide you the right contact.
And exchange rate type is M, right? For example,
Yeah.
it's saying average rate. So for an entire month, they would be considering this for all the transactions we are posting in during this
Yes.
month. They'll consider
Yes.
the average rate, right?
They'll
So
consider the average rate. Yeah.
who will be updating this exchange rates system? FI team or like some other team?
No, no. In the development, usually we will only do that, but in the production system, the treasury team will be updating these exchange rates.
In the same way where you have shown one
Yeah,
USD is equal to, in there we need to manually update, right?
Yes.
Or we have some tool to upload again this?
Yeah, we have some tool to update with the Excel sheet or with the flat files. So SAP has given one tool. So using that tool, we can upload the rates here, or otherwise just click on this one and copy paste from the Excel.
Okay, gosh.
Right. So what I will do is this M rates from INR to USD. These are very old rates. Okay. I will enter a new rate, click on new entries, and what is my exchange rate type? It is M, and it is valid from, so we are in May, right? So it is valid from, so as these are updated only once in the month beginning, okay? 2022, sorry, it's a 5, right? Okay. From which currency? INR to USD. So what is my rate? 0.013. 0.013. Okay.
Question. So, if the exchange rate is updated every month, and let's say we add a transaction in April and was a different exchange rate, and then we're in May already, and we are pulling reports from April, does it pull the old exchange rate or the new exchange rate in the system?
Good question. Yeah. No. So when we are pulling the reports, the calculation will not happen. Only when you are posting the transaction, the calculation will happen. That already translated amounts are updated in the tables. When you are pulling the data, it will fetch the same data only. So, okay, I got your question. So in Feb, you are entering some $100. Okay. So which is INR is, for example, into 75. Okay. 7,500. Okay. Because my exchange rate is, for example, 75 in February. Okay. So I already have this information, USD information and INR information in the system already updated. Okay. But when you are fetching the report in April, it will fetch the same values. Okay. But in April, my exchange rate got changed to 80. Okay. System will not fetch 8,000. System will not fetch 8,000. So it will fetch 7,500 only. Okay. Because the transaction was recorded in February, it will use the same data. So it will not change here.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So now I have entered this one, and the other I will do another entry. Okay. So since this is a monthly average, the next date would be 01/06/2022. So from INR to, for example, my rate has changed to 0.014. I got these two entries. Okay. So when I go to these M rates for my INR currency, okay, so what system will do is, for example, if you are entering a transaction on this date before this date, so what is the date before this one? This is 30th April. Okay, if you are posting a transaction on 30th April, system will take this rate. So whatever the rate that is available with the previous date. Okay. So since by the time the transaction got posted, this rate was not available. Okay. System will take the rate that is applicable before that date. Okay. Or any transaction that you post from 1st May to 31st May, system will take this rate. Okay. And any transaction that gets posted from 1st June to this one, it takes this rate. Okay, so it is, the rates are determined not only based on the combination of currencies, but it is also combination of the validity date. Okay, so these rates are valid only from this particular date. Okay, if I am posting a transaction before this date, like December 31st, 2014, I will get the error because I do not have any exchange rate available in the system. Okay. Yeah, Femi.
So if we delete, let's say we delete an exchange rate, it will affect the consolidated report, right?
Yeah, it will.
Let's say, yeah, if we delete like the old INR, any transaction that was posted during those dates will be affected. Is that correct?
No, no. It's already posted. For example, I have posted one transaction with the old date in 2015, which has used this rate already. Then that is already updated in the table. Even if I remove this one, so there is no problem for the data already posted. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we have seen exchange rate and this one, and the translation date. We will be using different dates in the system, on the document date and posting date, and this field tells the system which date we need to take. Okay. So when we come to the postings, I will explain what are those document date and transaction date. So for now, I will enter these two currency types. Okay. We have discussed these currencies and then exchange rate types used to find the exchange rates from the system. Exchange rates need to be added in the system. What is the T code? So how can I see the T code for IMG path? Click on additional information, display key, IMG activity. OB08 is my transaction. Dated in the system with the T code OB08. Exchange rates are required to translate from foreign currencies to local currencies. We must require exchange rate type for this one. And we have seen source currency. Source currency can be my transaction currency or first local currency. So translation date type. The posting date or document date or transaction date. Okay, so these are the parallel currencies. Okay, so let me save this one. We are done and go back, and let me add one more entry here for my second company code B002. So what will, yeah.
Sir, one question. So the link is directly to the company code itself, right? Here?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So by default, you are not getting the company code because we have already defined company code, but in the currencies, configuration we need to do manually. Okay. Right. So what will happen here? Can anyone tell? So I have entered my company code. When I hit enter button,
Euro would be coming.
yeah. So this data under this section under first local currency will be automatically populated. Okay. So in case of company code currency, settings like exchange rate, type, source currency, and translation rate will be automatically populated. Okay. So in this case, all settings need to be manually entered. So my currency is determined from my company code. Here also I will enter 30. So the reason why I am entering 30 for all my company codes as a second local currency, there is a dependent settings in the controlling module. Okay, that's the reason I am using the same settings. Okay. So this is only a warning message. Okay, so just ignore it. Okay, so I have defined my second company code details also. Right. So these are the currencies that I have defined here. Right. So all the remaining parts, okay, define and activate new GL. All these are part of the new GL concept. For now, is not required. Okay. So first, I want to explain you what are the basic settings that are required to post a journal entry. Then we will get some idea. Okay, what actually we are doing. What is the purpose of doing all these settings? Okay. Next, I will go to the fiscal year. Year variant. Right. Okay, before going to this topic, I will show you one posting in the system. A different company code. I'll enter document date. So this is my general entry posting. The transaction code is a P50. I'm just trying to post one document and I want to show you what are the required settings that we need to make so that system will allow us to post the transactions in the system. Okay. So I need document date, posting date, currency, and these are the header things which are optional. And then I need the GL account. Okay. And then whether it is a debit or credit, to enter the amount. So I'm getting this message posting period 001-2022 is not open. So how system has determined my posting period is 1. Okay, so this companies will report the transactions, right? Will provide the financial statements on a periodic basis, right? They have to extract the reports on monthly basis, quarterly basis, and yearly basis. Okay. So, and each country or each company could follow a different fiscal year variant, right? So, what is the fiscal year in India?
April to March.
Right. April to March is fiscal year in India. And then, so what is the fiscal year in US?
June to July.
No, in US it is Jan to December only. And in Europe, they follow July to June in most of India countries. Okay, so I have these many settings. How system will know my company code is following which fiscal year, right? So I need to define some settings in the system, right? So that system will define for my company code, I want to follow either of these options, right? Okay. So for that purpose, I need to define the fiscal year variant. It helps to determine the fiscal year for your company code. So the path remains same. We come to the IMG path, come to financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings, and then fiscal year, ledgers, and then fiscal year and posting periods, and then click on maintain fiscal year variant. Right. I can see, so there are a lot of entries available. You can see here. So entry 1 of 20. So there are total 20 entries here. Right. So if I want to go to a particular entry in this kind of table, you just click on position, enter that entry. If you remember, just click on enter. So it will take me to this one. Now it is showing I am at the 12th entry, 12 of 20. Okay. First, let me discuss the calendar year. This K4 is calendar year. Usually, how many months we will have in a year? We will have 12 months in a year, right? Okay. But the calendar year means by default it is Jan to December. Okay, so we have one fiscal year which is called calendar year. Is Jan to December. So when I am using this calendar year, I don't need to specify the periods. You can see periods cannot be maintained for calendar dependent financial year variants. Okay, what does it mean? So by default, everyone knows. Okay, so in a calendar year, it follows Jan to December, and we will have a different number of days. In Jan, we will have 31, Feb 28, based on leap year, it will 29, March 30, 31 days like this. Okay, so this is already programmed in the system. If it is a calendar year, system already knows. Okay, so it is Jan to December, right? This is one case. There is not much work in case of Jan to December, right? Okay, so I will create one more entry. Click on new entries. My fiscal year variant is B1, Jan to December calendar year. I just need to select calendar year and hit enter. As soon as you hit enter, system has already determined the number of posting periods. So usually in general terminology, we call it as month, but in the SAP terminology or financial terminology, we will call it as posting periods. Okay. So posting periods are nothing but the fiscal year is divided into different parts. Those parts are called the posting periods. In calendar year, we will have 12 periods. And save. I have this one already. Okay. So for example, what I will do is I have created one more company. Just use those postings here. Okay. 001. Okay. It's correct only. Okay, sorry, I'm in B001. Okay, I need to change company code 1100. Okay, so that's what I was. I'm trying to post a transaction in a different company code. So GL accounts, debit, credit, I will enter 1000, 1000. So when you are posting the entry, the both debits and credits should match. So you should not have any balance. You need to ensure. Click on enter. Now it is green. That means both the debits and credits are balancing. So now I can save this one. Right. I got a document created. So I'll just display this transaction. Right. You can see here period 5 is determined by the system. Okay. For this company code 1100, I have assigned K4. K4 is calendar year. Okay. Similar way, I have created a B1 fiscal year variant, right? So K4 is also a calendar year with the 12 periods. So if this calendar year system already knows which month comes into which period. So I have entered the date in May. The system has automatically determined my period is 5 and my fiscal year is 2022. Okay, this 2022 was determined from this date. Okay. Right. So at this point, you guys are clear, right? So what is the calendar year?
Yes.
Follows Jan to December, and by default it will have 12 periods. So periods in the sense posting periods. Okay, usually we call it posting periods or periods. Anything is fine. Right. And one is a calendar year, and the second option we have is the year dependent. Okay. Okay. What are the cases that we determine the year dependent ones? Okay, so when we are not following the calendar year, like April to March or July to June. So in these cases, half periods belong to 1 year and the other periods belong to the other year. So in those cases, system will not know, right, which periods belong to which year. So in that case, we need to define the year dependent. Okay. I will create one year dependent. Okay, so B2 April to March. I must select year dependent this one and number of posting periods 12. Enter. Right. So click on save. So in this case, I cannot use this fiscal year variant because I have not determined the periods. So select this entry and double click on periods and which year we want to maintain. So 2022. So here I need to add new entries here. Okay. So can anyone tell me so what I need to start?
With 404.
Month is 04. Okay. Day 31 and it will become my first period. Okay. my 01, right? And similarly, because April is my first period, that's why I'm entering in the calendar year. April is a 04, fourth month. Okay. And then the second one is fifth month, which will have, sorry, in April, it will have only 30 days and 31 days in April, and it will be my second period. So 06, June 30 days, period 3, 07, 31 days, period 4. So like this, I need to enter all 12 periods. Okay. September, October, November, December again, 31 days, 9th period. Now I get January. Okay. January is the first month. It will have 31 days and it will be my 10th period. As per my fiscal year in SAP system, it is a 10th period, but as per the calendar year, it is a first month in 2023. Okay. So then how system will consider it under 2022? So I need to tell the system, we need to give a year shift -1. So this actually belongs to 2023. So 2023 -1 becomes 2022. So this way we are telling the system that these months which we are entering with the year shift, they belong to the current year only. So similarly, I will enter 2 in 2023, I think 28 days only. 7 -1, 3, again 31 days, my last period, and -1. And now save entries. So this way I have told the system to consider my periods. Okay, so let me add them in the Excel. So starts with first period, first month, sorry, 04, May, July, September, October, December. So my fiscal year is 2022, 2023. So what is this one? This one is 2022, April 2022. Okay. Calendar month, the name, calendar 5, 6. Calendar year, it is a first month, second, third month. Okay. And as per the calendar year, so this belongs to 2023, right? Okay. But as per the fiscal year, it should be all of these periods should belong to 2022. Okay. How system will know? All these belong to 2022. When it comes to these months, okay, sorry. What is my period here? This is a fourth month in the calendar, but as per my fiscal year, it is a first period. Okay, so this 10th period, it is belongs to fiscal year 2022. So I need to add -1 to the year shift so that system will do the calculation. This fiscal year is 2023 -1 becomes 2022. So that's the reason we are having year shift. When any periods, any months that belong to the next calendar year, so we want the system to consider them under the current fiscal year. That's the reason we are adding the year shift. In a similar way, we can use this +1 as well. So in case of July to June, for example, that fiscal year becomes 2023. Okay, so from these periods will become, they should become to 2023. Okay, but they are entering in 2022. So let me enter that that concept also. This is April to March scenario. Okay, example in July to June scenario. Okay, fiscal year July to June. Okay, July is same case. So July, June, August, October, November, December, and Feb. Right. Okay, so as per the calendar, it is 7th month. Again, first month, second, third, 6th month. Okay, so I got these things. So as per the calendar year, so these belong to 2022. These belong to 2023. So if my fiscal year for 2023, okay, fiscal year for 2023 is from July 2022 to June 2023. Okay, so in this case, all these periods that I have mentioned, they belong to 2023 fiscal year. Periods, these are the periods in sequence. So now you guys tell me, so what will be the year shift and where I need to enter?
Sir, like in general, we'll not use this concept, because why fiscal year 23? Because when we are starting from July to June, we'll only consider 22 as a fiscal year, right?
Yeah, we will only consider this one. So for your understanding purpose, why we are using the year shift, I am explaining. So in this case, consider if this is the scenario and this I need to consider under 2023 fiscal year.
Okay, then we need to do a +1 from July to December.
Exactly, +1. I need to add +1 until December, and these will be blank or 0. What system will do? It will add this 20. Just enter 1. 1 means it is +1. Okay. So this one plus this year shift will become 2023. That means all these periods will come under 2023 fiscal year. Okay. Now the concept is clear.
Yes.
So we have calendar year. We have calendar year. Where is the other screen gone? This one, yeah. So save this to. So this is very much important. You will get definitely this in interview question and in certification questions also. What is calendar year? What is year dependent? And what is the year shift? All these questions you will get.
So if it is only if the calendar year is not same as fiscal year, then we use option year dependent, or else if both are same, we'll use year independent, right, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
So general financial accounting lecture, fiscal year, item fiscal year variant. I go to SM12 to remove the lock entries. Whenever this system automatically closes, these are not getting deleted. So this is year dependent. And we have one more concept called year independent. Okay, click on entries. Okay, click on new entries. P3, April to March. Yes, I'll enter 12. Right. Save. Then select and click on periods. Okay. So the difference, if you have observed here, system has not asked me the fiscal year now. Let me take you back to my B1. Sorry, B2. In the B2, I have selected year dependent. When I click on the periods, it is asking for which year I want to maintain the entries. Okay, so observe this one. Okay, so let me open another screen. So I'll go to directly with the transaction code. OB29 is the transaction code. Okay. Yes, okay. When I open my P2, which is year dependent, and when I click on the periods, I am getting the fiscal year, which year I want to maintain. And when I use B3, which is year independent, when I click on the periods, it has not asked me this pop-up. Okay. I'll tell you the difference between year dependent and year independent. Year independent means I am maintaining April to March, but the number of days in my periods will remain same in any year. So they will be corresponding to the calendar months. So April, it will have by default 30 days only, May 31 days, like this. Irrespective of the year, the only different thing is I am using April to March fiscal year, but my number of days in my period will be same as the calendar months. Okay. So we'll do the same activity here also. For period 4 is April, which will have 30 days, becomes period 1, and then 5th month 31 days, period 2, and sixth month will have June 30 days, my period 3, 7, 31 days, 4, August again 31 days, 5th, 9th, September 30 days, period 6, 10, 31 days, 7th period, November, period December, 31 days, 9th period, January, 31 days again, 10th period. I need to give year shift here. 228, 11 minus 1, 3, March 31 days, 12 minus 1. Okay, so and save. Right. In this case, I don't need to change any data. So once I have defined my fiscal year variant, it is applicable for all the years. Okay. So calendar year follows a default period. We don't need to add any periods in the system. But in case of year independent, fiscal year is not same as calendar year. Then we need to define the periods. Okay, and the same periods and number of days remain same for all fiscal years. Whether you take 2023, 24, 25, any fiscal year, I am following April to March, and the number of days in my periods will remain same. Okay. Then year dependent. So in case of year dependent, the number of days in periods will not remain same in all fiscal years. Need to enter the periods and number of days for each fiscal year. Okay, so this is year dependent. If I go back here, P2 is my year dependent, for which I need to select this checkbox. Box year dependent. Okay. So when I select this one, I'm getting this period, and I need to give 2023 year, and this data belongs to 2022 only. If I try to post a transaction in 2023 fiscal year, that means from April 1st to 2023, I will get the error. The fiscal year variant is not defined for 2023. Okay. Okay, why we have this option? In some industries, they follow a different periods. Their periods will not remain same for every fiscal year. Okay, year dependent. Okay, for example, this is my case in 2022. But then when I go to fiscal year is 2022, April 2022, March 2023 is the case. Okay. But when I come to this case, My fiscal year in 2023 will be 2023 to March 2024. This year shift concept will remain same, but I need to add this is calendar month and this is days. Usually in April, how many days we will have? Can't hear you.
30 days.
30 days we will have. For example, if my April month, I want them to have only like some 26 days. May should have only 30 days instead of 31. Okay. 31, 24, 26, like this. Some random number I have entered. Okay. And this situation will change the next year. So in 2022, I have 30 days. Here I have 26 days. When I go to my fiscal year 2024, my number of days are changing to again some 32 days, 29. So there is no
year. Sorry, so this is year independent, right?
year dependent. This is year dependent.
Year dependent, okay.
Okay. In case of year dependent, the number of days in the period are not same as calendar months. My number of days in each period will change in every fiscal year. Okay. So in this kind of situation, SAP has given the option of year dependent. Okay.
So why, sir? Any specific reason? Like,
yeah,
is it a business structure?
Yes, it's a business structure. Mostly in US, I'm not sure about the other countries, but I have for the clients in US, they follow 441, 445 calendar. Okay. Mostly all manufacturing industries, I have seen this scenario. So 445 calendar means first period will have 4 weeks. Okay. Second period will have again 4 weeks. Third period will have 5 weeks. So for example, 4, 4, 5. Then this series will repeat. So April 4 weeks, May 4 weeks, June 5 weeks. Or let me take not this one. Okay. This is April to this one, right? So my fiscal year 2022, but I'm following Jan to December only. Okay. So in this case, you can ask a question. It's a Jan to December. Why we are going for year dependent? You can simply choose the calendar year. No? So, but the difference here is the number of days. This is calendar year. So this will become so calendar month also they are in the same sequence. Okay, and my period also it is same sequence. So in this case, I don't require year shift. Okay, all belong to 2022 only, right? The number of days now. what I said, 4, 4, 5 calendar. Okay. The first January will contain 4 weeks, February 4 weeks, April 4 weeks, and this cycle will repeat. Again, from April we have 4, 4, 5, 4, 4, 5. Okay. Right. So what is this 4, 4, 5 calendar? Okay. So in 2022 January, so I start from 1st January. So what is my 4 weeks complete? This is 1, and actually until 2nd Sunday it becomes to the previous year only. So 2nd January 2022 will become 2021 fiscal year only. So we'll take from 3rd January. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when is my January ending for 4 weeks? Is 30. Okay, so then in January, number of days I will have 30 days. And again, it will start from this one. So from 31st, it becomes the second bunch. Okay, again 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. So 4 weeks when it is ending, 27th February. Okay, 27th February. This is 30th January and March. So 27th is done. Here, how many weeks I need to have? I need to have 5 weeks. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5th week is ending on when? This is 1st May. Okay. We are in calendar. Sorry, this will become period now. Okay. My period is I'm in 3rd period. Sorry, yeah, I'm in 3rd period, but my end date of my 1st period is 30th January. Okay. So are you guys following or any confusion? If you have any confusion, so we'll stop it here because you can learn this slowly later. So what now important is this one. So if you understood the concept of calendar year and year dependent, then it is enough. Okay, the year shift, these 3 are enough. The year dependent is used in very few cases. Okay, and again my calendar will repeat from 1st May, right? Again 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 weeks is 29th May. So like this, the number of days will change and it will repeat. So if I want to take the same situation for next year. Okay, so January until this goes to previous year, from here 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm getting 29th January for my 1st period. I'm getting, yeah. So this is fiscal year 2023. 2022 30th January is my last date of the 1st period, but 29th January is my last date of 1st period in 2023. So there is no similarity. The days are changing frequently every year. So this is called year dependent. So the number of days, the number of days in posting periods will not remain same in all fiscal year. I need to enter the periods and number of days for each fiscal year, and checkbox year dependent must be selected. Okay, this is the concept in these 3 other concepts in fiscal year variant. Okay, so once we define these entries, we'll complete this part. We need to assign the fiscal year variant to our company code. So we have defined the fiscal year, but system must know to which company code it should be assigned, or which company code is using which fiscal year variant. So financial accounting global settings, ledgers, fiscal year and posting periods. And I have defined my fiscal year variant in this case, and the transaction code is OB29. Code OB29. The next one, I need to assign company code to a fiscal year variant. So what is my company code? So how can I go there? Just click on position. This only warning message. Enter B001. So I will use what is this one? Year independent. I will use B3. Okay. For both the company codes. Right. Enter the fiscal year variant and click on save. Again, we will get the prompt for customizing request. Done. So then we are done with the fiscal year variant. Okay. So we need to discuss about the posting periods. Okay. So we have defined the number of posting periods that I need to require in a fiscal year. Okay. So next we'll discuss what is posting period and what is posting period variant. Any questions till now? The important topics we discussed today are the parallel currencies and fiscal year variant. These two topics we have discussed.
No, sir. No questions.
Okay, great. Karthik, Kantimati, Shamai.
I have a question. So a company code can only be assigned to one fiscal year, right?
Yes, only one.
Okay, thank you. That's all the question I have.
Yeah, so it has to continue to use the same fiscal year variant. So multiple options are not available. Only one fiscal year variant must be assigned. Okay, so there are few other situations where they need to do reporting in different fiscal year variant. Okay, for that purpose, SAP has given other options which is called a special purpose ledger. Okay, through the special purpose ledger, if we want, we can define a different fiscal year variant. And also in the new GL concept, we have new non-leading ledgers. Okay, so when we come to the topic, we will see what are the options. So how companies can utilize the different fiscal year variants. Okay.
Okay. For example, I mean, just a question normal. For example, if we have a company in India and US, both the countries have different reporting structure, right? In that case, both the different two fiscal years variants can be used, right?
Yeah. So there is one dependency here. Okay. The companies that come under one controlling area. Okay, so all these companies belong to one group company, and we are going to assign all company codes to one controlling area. In that case, it is a prerequisite that all company codes should use the same fiscal year variant. Okay. So whenever we are defining the company codes that come under one group company, we use same fiscal year variant and we use the same chart of accounts. These two are important settings. Okay, so all the companies across under that controlling area must use the same settings for these two. Okay, but as you mentioned, so my group company is in US, so I am following the same fiscal year variant for all my company codes, which are located in different countries, India, Europe, Asia Pacific. So like this, I have several company codes in different countries, but they need to report in different fiscal year variants. Okay, but here I am using the Jan to December only. Then how can I do that reporting for India? Okay, for that purpose, we have something called non-leading ledgers. So for assignment here, we will assign the same fiscal year variant for all company codes, but for reporting, we have separate settings in the new GL concept.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.